Now, Dave Thomas, he was in Winnipeg all week for the Grey Cup festivities, and you were there on field level last night. And obviously, because it was such a tight turnaround, it's Monday right after the game, the Riders coaches are a little occupied. They're a little busy today. Mm-hmm. But you did speak with them last night.
Yeah, I did on the field. I had an opportunity, and it was pretty raw, pretty emotional. As before they went to see the dressing room, they came down and talked to me. So, yeah, we had a great chat. So, in lieu of the coaches show today, we bring you the coach, the GM, and another player show.
Yes. So, it is still technically the coaches show, right?
Yeah.
We're going to call it that anyway. Okay, let's get into it. It's for Steelcraft Doors and the Saskatchewan Roughriders Foundation. So, we'll start off with Mark Mueller. In 2 seconds.
Mark Mueller, we're a couple of Sasky guys at the end of the day. This is a dream come true, huh?
This is awesome. To win it with this group of people, that's really special. I'm really happy for these guys. They've earned it.
Tell me about your offense, man. They just seem to turn it up or whatever. They found that niche, and they just seem to take over the ball game in the second and third quarter.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, they work hard. They love each other. They believe in each other. And I'm so happy to be a part of them and be their teammate.
There is no weak link because everyone seems to pull that chain the same direction. How rare is that?
It's amazing to be a part of. I mean, these guys work hard. They help each other out. I mean, it takes everybody to win. We always talk about offense. It takes all 12, and these guys bought in.
You and Corey came before the start of last season with a vision, and I remember vividly there was one shot of Corey looking up at that wall in the north end of Mosaic Stadium where there were 4 numbers. There's going to be a 5th year added to that wall. What does that mean that you're a big part of that?
It means it's amazing. It'll be something that we remember forever, and this group of guys get to be remembered forever.
Go celebrate. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Of course, that was our own Dave Thomas exclusively having a conversation with offensive coordinator Mark Mueller on field level after the Grey Cup win last night. Wes, I don't really think that we got into this too much, but that play calling was impressive by Mark Mueller last night.
Yeah, I think he heard me in the pregame show. No, I was talking about in the pregame show that I really hope that they got AJ Olette going and that they really ran the screen game a little bit, kind of to get Montreal chasing and get the receivers involved physically, like blocking for each other, that sort of thing. That can kind of backfire because receivers tend to be some of the weaker blockers on the team, but it does get them engaged and more in tune to the game if they're not getting targets, right? So I think that start to the game kind of worked to perfection. And then, like I mentioned in the pregame, I was like, I hope they let it lie in Trevor's lap a little bit, let Harris sling it around the yard a bit, and he did just that. And then Emilus was looking great. I think he could be the best receiver in the league, so we should pay him. And the defense, everybody was healthy for that defense, and they flew around. Obviously, it's a good game. Montreal has great coaching, and Davis Alexander is a competitor. He showed that because the defense really was, turning them over and doing everything that they could to get that win, and he still found a way to kind of pull it together and make it close. So I think it all kind of worked out the way it was supposed to, but I was really impressed with the way the offense, kind of were balanced, hit them heavy with the run game and then aired them out late to get critical first downs. Yep.
If you look at it, okay, so from the outsider's perspective, right, I can look at the numbers and I can see the Saskatchewan Roughriders in 2025 scored the fewest or second fewest first quarter points in the league. And there is an amazing synergy between Mark Mueller and Trevor Harris. Can the slow starts be chalked up to, hey, they come out and they visualize, they dissect, they analyze what that defense is going to present in the first 15 minutes, and then they take advantage of it the rest of the way? Is that wrong?
Yeah, they kind of. I think you're onto something, Dave. I think they kind of slow roll it, play it out. It kind of it definitely makes you mad as a fan because you're like, what are you doing? It kind of looks like you're giving away some opportunities or kind of letting some slide. And then if the defense struggles, then it's really putting the whole team in a bind. So I think the fact that, it's a little annoying, but that was a little bit of the method to their madness of just, filling some stuff out, being a little more conservative, kind of seeing maybe what wrinkles the opponent is trying to throw at you before they really, open up the offense. And it worked. I mean, you get two weeks off at the end of the season, you have the best record, and then you go ahead and finish it off with a Grey Cup. So clearly, and one thing that used to always trip me out is I'd be mad about the way the game looked, But when I went back and looked at the stats, Trevor was always around 300 yards passing. The run game, whether it was just AJ or a combination of backs, was usually over 100. So you were getting the numbers that a solid offense is supposed to get. So the numbers don't lie.
I remember at one point Doug Flutie was quoted as saying that, and again, he was involved a lot in his own game plans, right? But he would have anywhere from 9 to 12 plays pre-scripted, that these are going to be the 9 to 12 plays that we're going to run, and we're going to run them in sequential order, maybe dictated a little bit by down and distance, but this is going to give me everything that I need to know. Did you ever encounter that?
Yeah, I would say about half of the coaches would. I mean, and then sometimes you'd have to get away from it because either one, you'd have a couple 2 and outs, so you really wouldn't get to the end of the script. But if you had a good, solid first drive or two, you just go with the script as it was written. And it would always I'd always think it was odd, but then once you got some momentum, got some movement, or actually scored off of it, you're like, guess coaches did this, film study was good this week.
Even though they didn't get paid enough to do it, right?
You got to be a little bit biased here as a former running back, Grey Cup champ yourself. 3 rushing TDs last night. Are we not giving Tommy Stevens enough love here?
I mean, Stevens is a special, kind of athlete. He's basically like a tight end, a quarterback. He's built for that role. Like if there was a guy that you would think, okay, let's do short yardage QB, maybe he can, roll out and throw when he has to. It would be Tommy Stevens, right? He's like a Cam Newton type, a big body, Josh Allen type, right? And those type of guys are going to get a couple yards when you need it. So I think he's definitely one of those guys that you want to keep on your roster, try to keep happy, because he's kind of a unique, he's kind of a utility guy in that sense. I'm sure you could probably throw him in at tight end or or a slot or fullback and maybe hand it off to him once or twice, because he actually ripped off a long one against us when he was with Calgary. So he's got some sneaky wheels on him too. So he is a unique guy that you'd love to have on your roster.
Totally. I mean, between him and AJ Ouellette, that was a lot of fun to watch last night with those TDs. You know what? We should probably move along with this coaches show, because I just realized we got to get to head coach Corey Mace, who Dave spoke with on the field last night.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, as you can imagine, very, very emotional just coming off. And actually, we talked a little bit about the first time that we met, and it was a very interesting meeting, but a great conversation.
Coach, I'm not going to forget the first time that we met was at a Regina Chamber of Commerce luncheon. And there's this guy that pulls this PowerPoint up with the pillars that he wants to build the foundation of this team. And I thought, what is this happening with a PowerPoint presentation? You're now a Grey Cup champion. Pretty damn good presentation.
I mean, hell, listen, the presentation is, those are just words on a slide. It takes these guys to live those things out. And they've done nothing but commit to that since the first time that we all came together last year and carrying over to this year. It's our ethos, man. It's who we are. It's beyond culture. It's just who the hell we are. And this is what it could look like if we stick to our plan.
Can you feel the province of Saskatchewan cheering?
I can hear Pilsner's being open from here, baby. Let's go.
One more. Tell me about this group, man. How special are they? You look at everything that they go through for one another, and it filters through you and the rest of the coaches.
Yeah, listen, this is such a close group. They love each other, man. Our kids, all of our kids know all the guys. Our kids play together. I told them last night, all those guys are superheroes to my children, man. We love each other. What a group.
Grey Cup champion. Congrats.
Thank you very much, Dave. Thank you.
Head coach Corey Mace, now a Grey Cup winning coach with the Saskatchewan Roughriders, exclusively speaking with Dave Thomas down there on field level. Can we give a little love to the offensive line, though? Because at one point, Justin mentioned it earlier, Trevor Harris said, I didn't even feel like I needed to be wearing shoulder pads.
You know what's funny about this is I was talking to Nick Lewis about this. He's coached in the CFL, top receivers in the league. He lives in Regina. Anyway, I was like, why don't more teams just stack their Canadian receivers and put more American O-linemen out there? And he was like, that American O-linemen don't really come up here that much. So I don't know what the heck Jeremy O'Day is promising. But, I do like the fact that they were able to start. And then Furlan's a stud. Like, I feel like he could be top Canadian O-lineman, top O-lineman in the league, right? To be a center and to kind of mature as he has, man, it's really impressed me. And, he had a great group around him, and they were solid. I mean, they dominated that game quietly, and people haven't talked about them. And then Peyton Collins, Ohio kid, come on now, left tackle, it's going to happen.
Well, okay, so talk about under the category of a good problem to have, right? Logan Furland loves playing guard. He played center all year because of Sean McEwen. Now, Sean McEwen, I believe, signed a 1-year deal. Logan Furland re-upped and has got another year left on his contract. So would you be tempted to mess with that offensive line? So if Sean McEwen comes back, then who are you going to bump? Because Furland, you'd assume, would go to guard, but Jacob Bramer was all CFL at right guard. And then on the left side, you got young Peyton Collins, who's on a rookie deal, and then Travion Tate, who came back from injury and was playing, as Luke calls it, an all-NFL level. Like, what do you do? That a good problem to have, I'm guessing.
Yeah, for sure. I think it comes down to where people are at in their contracts, and then, I mean, if you can fit bringing them all into camp, then kind of let them battle it out. Then maybe you have a good trading piece for maybe an injury that happens at another position, or if one position is looking weak, right?
Sure.
But I also think that there's something to be said about the coaching staff, because we look back early on in the season. What was the biggest talking point when it came to injuries for the Saskatchewan Roughriders? It was the O-line. It was the O-line. Constant shifting, moving, readjusting, plugging, playing. Like, in the back half of the season, that wasn't necessarily an issue. They kind of got healthy. They found their groove. But is it necessarily where they're playing on that O-line? Or is it really just who is the leader charging in front?
I feel like it depends on the O-lineman. Guys don't like to move. Like, the fact that Furlan has moved around as much as he had in his young career and been good, I think it's always impressive to have a guy playing center and then being able to play somewhere else, because you gotta know more about the defense as the center, because you kind of set the mic or decide who the mic is going to be, and then the rest of the O-line knows who they're blocking based off of that. You got to snap it back there. You got to kind of be in tune with the quarterback in the huddle or the snap count, whereas everybody else can kind of just watch the ball. So you're thinking about all that, and then on top of it, when you move around positions, there's so much of a different technique to how the positions you're going to play as like a defender. Like, guards and centers are going to deal with 3 techs and nose guards, those big heavy guys in the middle, and then tackles are dealing with really fast guys coming off the edge, and you got to play all that different. So it's hard to move around, but when you find guys that can move around, that's a great bonus. And you should try to keep them, but you want the guy who plays best at certain positions, really.
Can I ask a question from Tommy on the text line? Okay, so Tommy, you mentioned Tommy Stevens could be used as a tight end. Why aren't more tight ends used in the same role that they're used as in the NFL or the NCAA game? Is it because of the field size? I guess I alliterated. Tommy wants to know, why aren't tight ends used more in CFL?
I think just because there's so much space, you don't really need to create space by bringing in a bigger package. I think guys could use it. Like, honestly, one of the best offenses I was on when I was playing with Calgary as a rookie, I played like I was just big enough to kind of play the tight end role, and I used to play running back and slide and line up at fullback. And the package, because I was athletic enough to run with speed and get open in the passing game, but also strong enough to block like Tommy Stevens would be, it sometimes got us in the right mismatch where we were either playing against a smaller defense and we were able to run on them, or we were playing against a slower, heavier defense and we were able to pass on them. So I think it's something that more OCs could implement, but because of the space of the field and the opportunity to get one-on-ones with receivers and still spread it out in the run game, it's like kind of a lost art almost.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
So why don't we move to the guy who is putting all these pieces in place, okay? This is the Riders Coaches Show for Steelcraft Doors and Saskatchewan Roughrider Foundation. We got to hear from Dave on the field with Jeremy O'Day. You caught up with him last night.
Vice President of Football Operations and General Manager Jeremy O'Day, what was your thoughts when that clock hit 0?
Ecstatic, elated. We're bringing the cup back to Saskatchewan.
1-0. That was the course all year long. You go 1-0 on the biggest day. What do you say about this team?
That's our head coach. That was his motto from the get-go. We talked about the Grey Cup one time in trade camp. Until we won it today, we never talked about it again.
You believed in this group, keeping them together for another year to finish the business. How gratifying is this?
It's gratifying. It's a team of character. They're all a team of characters, and they deserve it.
I know you can feel the province's pride behind you. What's your message to the province?
Rider Nation, we're bringing the cup home.
That, of course, was your voice of the Saskatchewan Roughriders, Dave Thomas, with Jeremy O'Day of the Riders, who, yes, the cup is home now. The cup is in the province. They unveiled it to the fans at Mosaic Stadium earlier this afternoon. The parade is going to be taking place tomorrow. And man, is it going to be a riot. It's going to be a party. Get lined up on the Green Mile starting at 2 o'clock. Everything should be wrapping up. Well, they'll be at the Ledge for 3. But I also want to give a shout out because our very own Curtis just popped in here and brought us a little something.
Yeah, so is it confetti? Is that the word you use?
That's what we're going to call it.
So there was the green and white stuff that blew onto the field and got all in my shoes, and it was the most uncomfortable my feet have been in an awful long time. But also, what was very cool, I don't know if anybody else saw it, it was right as we were wrapping up on the field, and it happened like right behind us. And so out comes AJ Ouellette and Logan Furland, and they were doing snow angels. In the confetti. In the pile of confetti at center field. It was very cool.
Well, I mean, you got to seize that opportunity.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Makes sense. Perfect sense in that moment. Yeah. I like it.
But good thinking on producer Curtis's behalf, because I would not have thought to grab that. I was just worried that we would have to use whatever was still sitting in Dave's suitcase or stinky shoes.
I would love to know.
Why they gotta be stinky?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
hey.
You were just in Winnipeg for the Grey Cup all week, and you were around celebrating players on a field last night, so I can only imagine.
I'd like to know where he got that cool jar from. It's like, in his spare time, is he doing preserves or something? Pickling? Like, I don't know. Like,
hit him up.
That's not it's not something that you see every day. With a young man having that kind of jar.
But you know what? He went prepared to Winnipeg. He knew that he was going to have to bring some back. Well, at least he was very ambitious that the Riders were going to be taking this one.
Last time I went on a road trip and somebody took a jar like that, you would never want to use it again.
Oh, Dave.
What? We had coffee.
Dave, okay, we're getting the break signal really. But before we do take a quick break, Wes, you've been part of these parades before. You've been part of these celebrations. Can you even describe that feeling? Can you even put it into words?
I mean, it's a party. It's like, a moving party. It's good fun. Everybody gets to come out, show their support. You get to realize how much you mean, especially in Saskatchewan, because it's always cold as heck. So, you know what I mean? When you hit the street and everybody's still out there freezing their butts off because they just want to show you how much they appreciate, want to show you some love. It's a good feeling, man. It's a good time. So, don't miss it. Get out there.
2 o'clock. Make sure you're there, okay? Green Mile comes alive yet again.